Right now, a view from the Bay. Inside Wolfgang's vault, the big business of rock and roll memorabilia.
We're going to be talking about the great collection of rock and roll memorabilia left by the great legendary rock and roll concert promoter Bill Graham. And it's all in a collection called Wolfgang's Vault.
I know.
And the guy who now owns Wolfgang's Vault and makes it available online is going to be here. And I'm just excited because I've seen some of the video.
Oh, yes,
and
so many neat items.
I mean, Janis Joplin, Jimi Hendrix, and all the great old rock stars and
It's
rollers.
Like, it's like the history of rock and roll,
really is.
all
It really
in this
is.
one vault.
Right.
It's really neat.
I want you in my arms. I walked out this morning and I wrote down this song.
Do you want somebody to love? Don't you need somebody to love? Oye, ¿cómo va? Mi ritmo, bueno pa' gozar. Oye, ¿cómo va?
What a flashback. Fans of rock and roll now have a place to shop for some of the rarest and most valuable memorabilia in existence. It can be found at the online store known as Wolfgang's Vault, which contains priceless items from the personal collection of the legendary concert promoter Bill Graham. Joining us now is San Francisco entrepreneur Bill Sagan, who is the man who has made Wolfgang's Vault available to us. And Bill, great to have you here with us.
Good to be here.
And all these incredible items. But before we talk about the items, can you just tell us a little bit about this legendary figure, Bill Graham, the father of the rock concert?
Well, he truly was a legendary figure. He built the concert business from the ground up, and he was the first one really to build the concert business. He was born and raised as a young man in Germany, came over to the United States to really escape Nazi Germany and to escape World War II, came to the United States, came to New York, worked in New York a while, then finally got as a young man to California and got into the business. First with the Mime Troupe, which is a street theater group here in San Francisco.
There's an old photo of him right here, yeah. And his given name was Wolfgang Grajanka?
Wolfgang Grajanka, that was his given name.
So nice.
And done very well, better than I do it. And when he came to the United States, he changed it to Bill Graham and then got a job up in the Catskill Mountains as a waiter.
Oh.
So during his career, he was collecting all these items, right, and just putting it downstairs in like some storage facility?
Bill Graham must have been a pack rat because he kept everything that he created, and he kept it in this area in his corporate headquarters. It was kind of a cellar, but also kind of a vault itself. It was 25 feet high and about 10,000 square feet, and it was all pressure packed. And when we went in there for the first time, everything just stood on top of each other. There were mice droppings here and mice droppings there, a lot of dust. But in truth, the pressure nature of putting everything on top of each other kept it preserved.
So what kinds of things are in there?
Oh, there's anything you could possibly imagine. There's a total of about 20 million unique items in there. 30,000 unique items that we have on the website, each with their own image. But it ranges all the way from posters to tickets to handbills to photography, all the great photography, to audio and video. He tape recorded most of the concert, both audio and video.
So he passed away in 1991 in a plane crash, helicopter crash.
Helicopter crash, yeah.
Right.
So I guess his business changed hands a lot, and then when you finally came upon it, did you know that you had found and uncovered this gold mine of incredible rock and roll memorabilia, or did you think, did most people think it was just junk?
I'd like to say that we figured it all out in advance, and we didn't. The truth of the matter is we were quite lucky. When Bill Graham died, his two sons got the company, and his two sons then sold it to management. Management then sold it in the mid-1990s to a company by the name of SFX. SFX sold itself to Clear Channel. So when I bought it from Clear Channel.
Right.
And before I bought it from Clear Channel, they had tried to sell it to other people. Paul Allen had been in there and had made an offer for the company.
Wow.
For whatever reason, there was a moment when people were doing other things. I made a cold call out here to Bill Graham Presents and Clear Channel and said I was interested. I was persistent. They let me do some due diligence. I came out, made an offer, and they said, well, if you're willing to close by next Friday, we'll sell it to you.
Wow.
Wow, that's incredible.
And it's between $5 and $5.5 million is the price for which you acquired it, right?
Correct.
It was worth many, many, many times that, I would suppose, now.
You know, I think it is. We insure the collection, we insure the archive for an excess of $60 million. And just on an annualized basis, we generate about $5 million in sales.
Okay, among the things in this collection are audio and video clips of actual live performances. We're going to show you a little montage right now of performances, and then Bill will give us the stories behind them. Here they are.
Laura May 29. La 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 la. Yeah. But when your business dies, I wanna be a monster. Good man, we try and be a wiser. Good, good, roster.
At Tanglewood in 1970. And Tanglewood itself was a unique venue west of Boston, Massachusetts, and Graham did 3 concerts that summer. That's really where the Boston Pops plays. That is the last time The Who did Tommy before Keith Moon died, and I think Keith Moon was one of the greatest drummers of all time.
Yeah.
The next one was Peter Frampton, and in 1975, Frampton came out here. That's when he did Frampton Live, which up till 1980 was the largest grossing album of all time. The opening act that day, when he did A Day in the Green, was Lynyrd Skynyrd. They did Sweet Home Alabama for the first time. The second band was Santana, and the headliner was Peter Frampton.
Oh my goodness.
The next one was the Sex Pistols. Their last concert was done on a Graham-promoted concert in 1978 here at Winterland. It was the last concert they did. They broke up a week later, and then a year after that, Sid Vicious died. I've seen this whole concert, and you have never seen so many shoes, sneakers, wallets, whatever, thrown at the performers, and then the performers, of course, throw them back. And all of these performances together kind of lead up to the last one that Graham ever promoted before he passed away, which was the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Yeah.
They were the headliner in the Christmas season of 1991. Graham had died a couple months earlier, but he had set that up. Opening band, Pearl Jam. Second band, Nirvana. Headliner, Red Hot Chili
Concerts are
Peppers.
amazing.
Yeah.
What kind of items are in this vault that are just very unique? Can you show us some of them and tell us what they are?
Absolutely. There's 4 real buckets of assets that are in the archive. First, you have the posters, and that's the tickets and the handbills and the postcards, all with great art on them. Right. And we own the copyrights to this art, which is a real big reason we bought the archive. I mean, you have tickets like these tickets up here. This is always a favorite of mine because it's a Led Zeppelin ticket. The first time they played in the United States in 1969, they were the opening act for Country Joe and the Fish.
Oh my! And they're in perfect condition.
Perfect
They
condition,
look brand
yeah.
new. They're just perfect.
And these right here, in the old days, in the good old days of Bill Graham when he was promoting concerts, Cream came out here in 1967 to play, and they played 11 days out of 12. Not just once on a weekend, but they played 11 out of 12.
And now there's Vault Radio, right, where you can hear some of these live performances that were taped?
Absolutely. We have over 7,000 concerts that we have audio and video for in our library. We own the master recordings to these audio and video performances. And Vault Radio, which we came out with a couple months ago, we play these songs in 8-hour streams. We might play, Cream, we might play Santana, Led Zeppelin, Grateful Dead, Jefferson Airplane, and you might also hear Tiny Tim and Big Mama Thornton and Aretha Franklin.
Oh
Bill,
my
I hate to
goodness,
have to wrap
that's
you up,
so
Bill. This is
neat.
fascinating stuff, but
Wolfgang's Vault, a lot to see on that website. Thanks so much.
Thank you.